Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So my name is Sam and today is going to just be a Q&A. I did post out to you guys about, I don't know, maybe 2-3 weeks ago saying, hey, do you guys have any questions? I posted it on Instagram. I also posted it here on YouTube and I got tons and tons of responses. So I'm definitely going to try and answer as many as I can. If I don't get to your question, I'm sorry, and I'll get to it during the next Q&A. But with that, if you guys do have extra questions for the Q&A next time, make sure to post them down below on this video as well, and then I'll get to them next time. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. So guys, I just want to mention that today's video is going to be super lengthy. I did get tons and tons of questions, which I am so thankful for. That is awesome. But that is going to make this video pretty long. So if you do have laundry to fold, dinner to make, something to do as you watch this video, I do highly encourage that. Act like this is a podcast. I hope you guys stick with me to the end. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so this is just going to be super informal. I have my tablet down here and I'm just going to kind of run through the questions. So let's see. So in no particular order again, I'm just going to kind of scroll and see what some of the questions are. Okay, so this is a good one. So here we have, this has to do with like minimalistic life. And we say, is there ever a time that you feel like you don't want to live a minimalistic lifestyle? If yes, what's the one thing that sometimes make you feel this way? Okay, so this is actually a really good question because I deal with this kind of, I don't want to say often, but I do deal with this. And the reason is because, so I work extremely hard. And we're actually going to get to this because I saw this question later, like what do you do for a living and stuff, so stay tuned. We'll get to that at the end. But regardless, I work super hard and I'm saving tons and tons of money with my fiance and we want to try to make it one day. Now, what does make it mean? I don't know. It's different for everyone. But sometimes we say like, okay, if we're working this hard, then maybe down the line we don't want to live in a 700-foot apartment. Maybe we want that dream home. Maybe we want that big home. And we sometimes fantasize about it. Now, to be honest, I think that I might because I do kind of want a big family. Well, not a big family, but, and this is actually, I think, a question later too, but I want maybe 3 to 4 kids. So we can't have, I mean, I guess we could have 3 to 4 kids in this apartment, but it would be really tight. So at some point we're going to have to expand, but we're just toying with the idea of how much do we want to expand. And now, no matter what, even if we expand to a bigger house because we can afford it and we worked really hard for it, we still enjoy the minimalistic idea of things, like not having so many excess things. Like actually we were talking about this the other day, like how many bedrooms would you want, how many bathrooms and stuff, and like we started talking about it and we're like, we really don't need that much. We literally just need to expand for how our family's going to expand. So I hope that kind of answers your question. It's not more of a sense of the fact that I don't want to be minimalistic, but I just might want to expand a little bit of like our housing situation. All right, so let's see. Our next one is, do you want any pets? So no, my fiance and I were not big pet people. I actually grew up my entire life with pets. Now, not like dogs and cats and things like that, because if you've seen in some of my other videos, I think I'm allergic to them. I don't know. I get puffy eyes. I get red skin anytime that I'm around them. So I had lizards. I had snakes. I had sugar gliders growing up. I had birds. I had literally every like reptile type thing. I had tons of fish. I had frogs. I had toads. Like that was me growing up. But still, I think that there are a lot to take care of. And with that minimalistic mindset, it just doesn't work for our life right now. Maybe in the future, but right now it just doesn't really work for our life. Now the next one is how many kids do you want? Kind of already answered that, so I'm gonna skip through that. All right, so let's see what the next one is. Oh, okay, so this one. Were you working at home before quarantine? So kind of complicated, but yes and no. So I actually, later on, I saw some questions about like, what's your career, what you went to school for, stuff like that. So I'm going to try and see if I can answer those questions all in one right now. So basically, to start off, not answering this question, but an answer that I thought I saw later on, but even if not, I'll tell you guys. So I went to school actually for a degree in biological science with a minor in psychology and a concentration in neuroscience. So my absolute dream job was to be a neurosurgeon. And that has been my dream forever. I've always wanted to be like the top-notch neurosurgeon, like head neuro, like here in New York City, like all of that. Like I had high aspirations and dreams. And then I started working in that field and I became an EMT and I started, sitting in on brain surgeries and I absolutely loved it. But there was just so much politics with things. And I don't know why, I just hate working under people telling me what to do because I feel so competent in what I do as just a person in general. So then when it comes to working under people, maybe that's a weakness of mine, but I have a really hard time with that. So then when I graduated school, I was going to go on to get my degree, go to med school, or then I started toying with the idea of like being like a PA in the neurosurgeon department or something like that. And then I was like, I don't know if this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, work under people, because it's going to take so long to get to be that head neurosurgeon spot. And when I met my fiance, he had the same very mindset. He didn't want to be working under people. He wanted to be an entrepreneur. So we actually joined forces and now we have our own business. For the past, like I'd say 2-3 years, we've been working full-time in our business, and I'll, post a link down below, but if anyone ever needs tutoring, that's exactly what we do. So we have a private tutoring company. We're partnered with, I guess like 20-30 schools at this point, where we host prep classes for those students. So before Corona, I did actually go into the schools and go teach the students, and we predominantly do like SAT, ACT, GRE, GMAT, LSAT, MCAT, all of those like standardized exams, and I would help out with, students and help out with things like that. Now, the last couple of years, our business has been doing so well, and we've been helping so many students. We also do a lot of in like underprivileged areas for like class settings, but we do have like a high-end service for like private one-on-one tutoring as well. Now, prior to Corona, we used to actually go to the schools and go to people's homes to tutor. However, recently, things have been switching to predominantly online. So before Corona, I probably did about half online and half actually in person, because I would go to the schools during the day and stuff, and then after school I would come home and I would help. I mean, we have clients all over the world. So someone in China would call in and we would teach them, someone in Thailand, someone in, all these random places, even in California, and I live in like the New Jersey, New York area. So we would be servicing all around. So obviously we would be using like our online platform for that. So prior to Corona, it was about half and half, but now it's just strictly online. And I actually could see it kind of moving that way, doing the full online classes. I'll teach classes with 30 students or even more sometimes, or sometimes I'll just do a one-on-one Zoom session and help the student that way. So very dynamic, but as you guys could see, I am running the business with my fiance. We do have a small team of workers that work with us as well, but that kind of answers, I think, a lot of the questions that are going to come. So with that, were you working home before quarantine? I answered that. Okay, so the next one, let's see, we got, what items have been the hardest for you to go through? For example, clothes, decor, all of that. So I'd probably say the hardest thing to go through, I don't really know, because I don't really have anything to go through. As you guys saw, actually, if you did if you watched my minimalism challenge, I completely failed at it because I didn't have enough things to go through. But I guess if I had to answer that question, it'd probably be clothes, because I do like to have a variety of styles. Now, by variety, I mean like not that much. I'll show you guys my closet. It's not that much. At least I don't think it's that much. Maybe to you it is. But regardless, I'd probably say clothes or decor, because I really like to, as you guys see, I like to decorate. I like to have like those fall accents or Christmas accents and stuff. But honestly, I think that I'm pretty good at decluttering really anything. I just don't like clutter in general. So hopefully that kind of answered your question. All right, so now we got this one here. Okay, so this one comes with 3 questions, so I'll try to answer all. We have, what's your opinion on fad diets like keto? What diet do you follow? So my opinion on fad diets is it works for some people. and it doesn't work for others. So you kind of just have to figure out what diet works for you. But to be honest, I don't really like the term diet. I really just like to implement healthier lifestyle, like things. I don't even know what you would call it, but just healthier lifestyle things in general. So for example, like my diet, it basically consists of a lot of just healthy, fresh foods. So if, let's say, I want ice cream at night instead of having ice cream, which I do occasionally as well. I absolutely love ice cream. So I'm not saying that, oh, I don't eat any of these types of foods. But what I like to do is like make a smoothie at night with like fresh fruit, milk, maybe even like a protein powder or something like that if I just worked out, or different things of that nature. But notice how that's not like a diet per se. I just put healthier options into my food. So if you would call that a diet, great, but that's kind of just what I follow. Try and eliminate as many processed foods, sugary foods, but I do eat plenty of carbs. I love my pasta. I love my stuff like that, but maybe like whole grain things instead, just substituting things with healthier things. Now, some of those fad diets, like I said before, they work for some people. I know so many people have that said, oh my God, keto diet is amazing. I have lost so much weight. I feel so much healthier. And everyone's body is different. So you really just have to see what works for your body. So I say, go ahead, try one of those diets, see if it works. I don't know, just see what works for you. Okay, so the next one on that same thread is, what approach would you take to help someone exercise more? So actually, I have done this approach because a couple people in my family don't really like to work out, but I absolutely love to. So what I do is I sometimes encourage them by like shooting them a text. They live in a very close proximity to me, and just shooting them a text and be like, hey, do you want to go for a walk tonight? Because then it makes something a little bit more social. When people that don't like to work out, and this is a broad statement, this doesn't work for everyone, but sometimes people that don't want to work out just hate doing it. They don't have the motivation to do it on their own. But if you say like, hey, let's go for a walk, and maybe as you go for the walk, you walk a little faster to kind of entice them to kind of go on like a mini jog instead of just a walk, or, you know, things like that. If you push them and say, hey, I want to do this, can you do this as well with me? Sometimes it helps out a little. So just having that camaraderie really sometimes helps out. Or even if you have like a group of friends, making like a group chat, or maybe working out together. I know things are weird like with Zoom and all now, like online things, but just work out online, just as like I do with like some of the tutoring stuff. I go on Zoom, and I could see the person, I could hear the person, I could do all of that. And then let's say it's, I don't know, your mom or cousin or someone like that, just say, okay, like let's do this together. Or even make it seem like they're helping you. Be like, hey, so I really need help to like stay on track and stuff like that. Like maybe can you help me? And they might then feel an obligation to help you, which will actually in turn help themselves. So those are just a couple ideas. If anyone else has any ideas down below, you know, definitely comment them, help out, you know, to our little community here. But all right, so then our next one, we have, what are small changes that I can make to my eating habits to become a healthier eater? So I actually have a whole video on this. I will link that video up above, down below, and all of that. But a couple brief things that I mentioned in that video are to eat healthy, swap healthier things into your diet, also healthier snacks, like, because a lot of times I know the snacking is the worst thing. You just want to grab a bag of chips and just eat a little bit of that. But if you just grab like a cut up pepper with some ranch, that's a healthier option. Now, sure, people will sit there and argue all day, well, ranch isn't healthy, you should just eat peppers. But you know what? It's better than what you were doing before. So as long as you are progressing in the correct direction, that's really all that matters. At least that's what all that matters to me, and that's what should matter for you as well. Now, with eating healthy, I see in this thread with the questions, it's like, you know, eating healthy and like working out and stuff, as long as you're doing better than what you were doing yesterday, you're on the right track. So just really keep that in mind. You're doing awesome. And you know, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Also, if you want to kind of chat more, I don't mind. Feel free to chat with me on Instagram, DM me. Will post it down below as well. But I'd be happy to chat and happy to help out more. All right, so our next one, how do you and your fiance meet? So basically, we went to the same college and we lived on the same floor in our apartment. And when we lived on the same floor, we bumped into each other at like the mandatory floor meeting that everyone needs to come to on the very first day. He was too shy to talk to me, so he didn't talk to me then. But about like maybe a month later, we like ran into each other on the elevator. He said hi, we started talking, nothing really formulated into anything. And then just like every once in a while we started to run into each other. And then one time I kind of went to his apartment to kind of study and hang out and stuff. He invited me back. And just from there, the rest is history. And if you want to know more about that, we got our proposal video, we got our engagement video and stuff like that. So I'll link those all down below as well if you guys want to hear more about our story. All right, so then our next one is, what is your career field? So I kind of already answered that. Then we got, what's your degree in? I already mentioned that too. Oh wow, so we got a bunch of questions on this one, which is awesome. So I'm gonna get through it. And again, I'm sorry, this is gonna be a long video, but you know what? Sorry guys, you guys asked the questions, so I wanna make sure that I get to, all of them. All right, so our next one is, what do you do for a living? Oh, okay, so I already answered that. What is your most treasured item? Oh, this is a cute one, and I know exactly what I want to say. So I have two treasured items, and they're both stuffed animals. Now I know that's weird, but my first one is a gigantic elephant. I'll see if I could post a picture here, but I bought it with my own money when I was like, I think like 8 years old. I saved up all my Toys R Us gift cards and I wanted this gigantic elephant. Now at the time it was the size of me and I was obsessed with elephants. I loved them. I thought they were so gentle and gigantic and beautiful. So I went ahead and I used my Toys R Us gift cards to buy it. I still have it to this day. I absolutely love it and I don't think I'll ever part with it. Now my other one, oh, and I forgot to mention, his name is Peanut. Peanut the elephant. Now I have another one where I have a small little bunny, and when I was 2 years old, I actually had to go into surgery. So I went into surgery and my mom gave me that to kind of just make me feel a little bit more comfortable. So obviously I'm 2, so she was like, hey, what do you want to name this? And I was like, and I thought to myself, I was like, well, it's a bunny, so Bun Bun. So I have this little bunny, the name of it is Bun Bun, and that's something that is super, super dear to me. So I don't know why the two things that are dear to me are stuffed animals, but those are the two best items that I have. All right, so now what are your go-to outfits? Pretty much tank top and yoga pants. That's pretty much it. Now, since I do work from home now, you're lucky if I get pants on. So I just say a tank top because you can't really see from here up. But anyways, all right, so our next one we have, do you have a capsule wardrobe? If so, can we see it? If not, would you ever consider doing one? Oh, so I actually had this on a previous post as well. Someone asked the same thing. I do kind of have a capsule wardrobe. I pretty much just have a bunch of tank tops all the same color, a bunch of pants that are all the same color, or sorry, all different colors for tank tops and different shirts. And then I have like a bunch of like pants, just different colors and different variations. So I kind of do have a capsule wardrobe. I don't really have that much, but if you guys are interested, I'll definitely see if I could try and do a video on that. Let's see, what's a secret talent you have? Or at least one that you haven't talked about yet on YouTube. So I wouldn't say I have any secret talents, but let's see. I mean, growing up, I've always loved cooking. So I would say that that was like a secret talent. A lot of people didn't really know that about me growing up, but I really enjoyed that. I would even do like cooking competitions and stuff when I was younger. So I would say maybe that is a secret talent. But yeah, I don't really know if I have any other like weird secret talents or something. If I think of any, I'll add them in the video later. Oh, okay, so someone said, you mentioned that your fiance had a big family. Do you want a big family in the future? So I did kind of already answer this. Probably about 2 to 4 kids sounds ideal, but I don't really know. We'll kind of see where it goes from there. If I have one and I'm like, oh my God, that was enough, then maybe we'll just leave it at 1, but maybe I'll have 3 or 4 and I'll be like, I want another. And you know what? Then nothing's stopping us at that point. As long as my fiance and I, or husband and I, agree at that point, that's really all that matters. So right now we're thinking maybe 2 to 4, but you never know. And for you guys that didn't watch the other video, my fiance is the oldest of 8, so I guess that's why they're asking this, because they want to see if we want to have 8 kids as well, which I can't anticipate that, but I mean it is kind of nice because you kind of make your own like soccer team or football team or whatever, so you want to go out and play, and you literally just take the 10 people in your family and you got a 5v5. So that is something great about it, but not going to have 8 kids just for that purpose. But whatever. Anyways, so our next one, oh, so someone said, I know you mentioned that eating out is your like splurge on money. Where do you like to eat out, or what do you like to do? So I have to admit, my favorite is probably sushi. There's a place by us called Sushi Palace, and it's an all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant. So my fiance and I typically go there, and we sit there for like 3 hours and eat tons and tons and tons of sushi. That's probably my favorite place. But even I just like some like random like chain restaurants. Like I admit I love Cheesecake Factory, I love Olive Garden, I love stuff like that. I'm guilty of that. But another one that's like my favorite like fancy restaurant is this place called the Chart House, and that's actually where we went for our engagement dinner, and it is gorgeous. It is on the river looking out on New York City in like the Weehawken, New Jersey area, just looking straight out. You can do outdoor dining out there. You could sit inside. It's just absolutely breathtaking. So I have to admit that's probably like my favorite like fancy restaurant. Okay, so someone said, you may have mentioned this before, I started following you, but you and your fiance are getting married, and what's your plan for the honeymoon? Oh, so we're planning on going to Thailand. As I was mentioning before, how I absolutely love elephants. Thailand has tons and tons of sanctuaries for elephants where you get to play with them and just interact with them, and that's been my dream ever since I bought Peanut, my little elephant. So now we're gonna go ahead and do that for our honeymoon. How about this one? Oh, this is a good one. Do you plan on doing any videos with your fiance? So this is a phenomenal question, and he told me that when I get to 1,000 subscribers, he will be in a video with me. So with that being said, comment down below, like this video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, so my fiance can finally be in a video. He is super, super camera shy. He does not want to be in a video, so help me get to that point so then we could see him in a video. Now, he is in like one of my other vlogs just because I had a secret camera, but he will be in a future video once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So let's get there. All right, so then next one we got, let's see. Oh, how do you balance your career and making YouTube videos? So that's actually a great question. It's pretty hard because like I said, I'm an entrepreneur, so I work at my own pace. So I typically have clients sun up, sundown. Now, sometimes I have random gaps in the day, like maybe an hour gap. Like right now, I worked from 7 in the morning to, well, I guess like 11, and then I have 11 to 12 gap, and then I'm going to go ahead and do 12 and work until 10 p.m. straight through. So just working with clients back to back. So since I have this hour gap now, what I'm utilizing this time for is to make a YouTube video. Now then tonight at around 11, 10 o'clock, I'll go ahead, eat dinner, and then sit down and wind down before bed and edit this YouTube video, upload it, and get it scheduled for the following day or the following, week or whenever. I do like to schedule them out. So I do like to have at least 2 already set up just so I know that I'm good for that week. So then I can prep for the following week. But that's pretty much how I do it. Now, I know that's a lot of work, but I enjoy making these videos, so it's just kind of that break in the day for something fun. All right. What's your work from home job? I already answered that. What's your career? I already answered that as well. And now I believe I had a couple questions on Instagram as well. So let me get over to Instagram and let me see what those questions were. All right, so now I brought up my Instagram. There's just a couple questions over here, but the first one is, how do you pronounce your name? So my name is Samantha Nicole Rudecki. Now it is a Polish last name, so if you guys can't pronounce it, I'm sorry, but that's kind of like the Americanized version of it. That is my fiance's last name. My maiden name is Samantha Nicole Carney. Now I actually have not switched my name yet, so technically my name is Samantha Nicole Carney, and you might see that, some different places, and that is still me, but I haven't changed my name just yet, and it's then going to switch over to Samantha Nicole Rudecki. So we got that there. How old are you? I am oh my God, I lose track of this. Like 26. I know that's still super young, but I kind of each birthday I'm like, wow, wait, how old am I? What am I turning? But yeah, so I'm turning so I'm 26 now. In next June I'll be turning 27. Another one, do you have a big family just like your fiance? No, I don't. It's just myself, as well as I have one older sister. She's a year and a half older than me. And then obviously my parents, so just a small family of 4. Unlike them, they have a big family of 10, but it's literally just us. All right, and then let's see, anything else? Oh, on a previous video, I did also get a question that said, like, I am so, like, far gone with hoarding. Where do I even start to, I don't know, where do I even start to, like, progress into this more minimalistic mindset? And that's a really good question, because what I suggest is, I did actually mention this in a couple other videos, like, what are your first things that you start, like, decluttering? But what I suggest is just starting in a small portion of your house. Pick literally the smallest room and say, I am going to declutter this. And literally take a bag, and anything that you have not used in 6 months' time, get rid of it. Now, I know initially it might tear at your heartstrings. It might be so upsetting to get rid of those things. But trust me, in the end, it is going to be so worth it, because you're going to look around and be like, wow, I did this. I made my house more minimal. I can actually walk over things. I can not trip over things. I know where things are. I don't need to rebuy things because I already bought one and I forgot where it went in my house. So I suggest just starting small, starting in one room, using that 6-month rule, or even if you want to set a different threshold. If you haven't used it in a year or haven't used it in 1 month time, that's fine too. Whatever threshold works well for you, make that threshold. Start getting rid of things in your home, starting room by room, or even section by section. Don't even tackle a whole room. That might be overwhelming. Or what you could do is, I do also have a video that mentions like the 10 first things that you could get rid of right now. So if you want to watch that video and start purging those items and just getting rid of, like, you know, whatever this item is, then getting rid of all of this item, getting rid of this item, that could also be another way. So I really encourage you to do that. Comment down below if you do end up doing that for the person that asked that question in future videos. And with that being said, if you guys have any other questions, I think I actually did answer them all. So I know this is a long video, it's like 20-something minutes, but I do appreciate you guys sticking through the whole entire thing. So if you got here to the end, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you also hit that like button. Also hit that notification bell as well. And then with that being said, I'll see you guys later and see you guys in the next video. All right, bye guys.